Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine. Today we're going to do another great workout you can do in your home, just like every day. We're going to use a couple different bands in a couple different heights. So one high, one about chest height. We're going to need a kettlebell or a weight to hang on to, and then a small weight or a small medicine ball, a fit ball if you have one, and I think that is it. So let's get started. Remember to always come into these workouts warmed up and ready to go. So 5 to 10 minutes of a cardio workout just to get your heart rate up, your muscles warmed up and ready to move. So we're going to start today with a chest press. So I've got my band set up here about chest height. And we're going to face away from the wall. I want you to stagger your feet. So just stepping forward with one foot. Tummy nice and tight, shoulders down and back. I like to have my band on the inside of my arms versus out here where it kind of scrapes my elbows. So that feels better for me. So you could try it either way, but that keeps it in a nice straight line so you don't scrape your arms with this band or the tubes or the handles. So pull those shoulders down, take a deep breath, breathe out as you press out. Now we're just going in the range of motion that you see here. I don't want you to go here and then go into an extra range, extra kind of a natural range of motion there. You got to keep your scapula in good alignment on your back. Breathing. Now with the bands, it can be really challenging to keep them steady and keep them in a nice straight line here. Remember, you can always step out to make it more challenging. You can step closer to the wall to make it a little bit easier. 3 more. Looking straight forward. 1 more. And 10. All right, good. Next, we are going to grab your kettlebell or your dumbbell, whatever you're going to use. And we're going to do some squats. So remember to always pick up your weights with good form. So sticking those hips back, bending your knees, keeping your tummy nice and tight. So let's do a good squat here. Remember, you always want your feet at least shoulder width apart. You can have your toes forward or even pointed out just a little bit, like in a sumo squat. Sometimes that feels a little easier on your knees. We're just going to hold that weight close to your chest here. And then we're going to sit your hips back right down into a squat. Now, do this in the range of motion that you can do pain-free. So if you're just going to here, squeeze your glutes on the way back up. So we're really working on proper form for you. So squeezing your glutes here. Also, if you need to, you can do this over a chair. So you have that kind of security that you're going to have somewhere to sit if you do lose your balance. And that can also help keep you in a better form. Tummy nice and tight, chest tall. Don't let your back bend like this. You're stepping your hips back, squeezing your glutes at the top, putting your weight in your heels here. Breathe. 1 more, nice and slowly, and rest. Now, remember, set that weight down with good form. Okay, now we're going to come back over to our tubes. I'm going to switch my handles to my other tube. If you don't have handles, you can just use the bands, however you have them, or if you have a couple sets of handles. And then some bands just come with handles on them already, so that's pretty handy too. You don't have to switch them around. Okay, now we're going to do triceps extension. So again, I want your feet staggered just a little bit, tummy tight, back tall, shoulders down and back, elbows glued to your sides. You're going to press straight down. So we're isolating those muscles in the backs of your arms, right here, your triceps. Nice and slowly. The only thing bending and straightening here are your elbows. So bring that tube straight down beside your hips. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Nice and slowly. Now, I don't have, I'm not really in a squat or a lunge or anything here, but my knees and my hips are engaged. So I want everything engaged, supporting the rest of my body while I'm isolating these triceps. And last one, slowly both directions. Okay, good. Now we're going to use the fit ball against the wall. We're going to do a hip exercise. Now, I like to have a chair close by. Usually I'll turn it like this, but I really want you to be able to see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to leave it sideways for me. But using that chair really close to you. So I want you to stand up nice and tall, and this chair could be right here. What we're going to do is stand on one foot, and then I'm pressing into the ball. So I'm doing a hip extension. I'm engaging those glutes. My knee is staying straight. So stand up nice and tall. I am using this leg. See, it's not a very large range of motion, but I'm pushing into the fit ball. And I can control how hard I'm pushing, right? So I can give it a really good squeeze, or I can back off a little. Really isolating those glutes. Using this chair here for balance, and just stay nice and tall, supporting on that other leg, and then we'll switch. So I'm just going to use that chair, same place, switch legs. It's not a very large movement. I can barely see that I'm moving at all, but it's really giving that hip some resistance to push against. Two more. Nice and slowly. 10. All right, good. Now we're going to lower down to the ground. I've got a little medicine ball here that I'm going to use. We're going to do some Russian twists today. So remember, you can use a rolled up towel or a pillow right here in your sacrum. Just kind of jam it in there. You can use a weight, or you don't have to. This is a really small weight medicine ball. You can grab a heavier weight if this is something that you're aware of and you know how to do this. Sitting up tall to start. My knees are bent. My heels are just resting on the ground here. And then we're going to lean back. So I want you to be in this position here where your back is tall. I don't want you to lean back and do this. That puts pressure on that low back. We don't want any of that. So that's why I say if you need to put a pillow or a rolled up towel or something, sometimes a really soft, they make these really soft like plyo balls that you could put in there. But sitting up nice and tall, we're going to go side to side. We're doing a little bit of a twist. See if you can go all the way to the ground. The further up here you are, the easier it will be. The further down you go, the more difficult it will be. So try to find that sweet spot where it's a challenge, but not so much that you're breaking form. If you can feel it, if you start to really bend in that back, you really want to stop and come up just a little bit so you can maintain that good form and protect that back. Let's do two more. I was talking through that whole thing. All right, good. So keep breathing through that. That's really challenging in those core exercises, but that's what will keep you going. You want to keep breathing. Find a way to find a rhythm. Breathe in for 2, breathe out for 2, something like that. Find a rhythm. Okay, now we're going to stand back up. So remember, always stand back up slowly so you don't get dizzy or lightheaded. I will refresh my screen here. And we are going to do some airplane holds. So we're going to do a little balance at the end here. Now, this chair is a great example of something I can have nearby for some balance. If you have a counter or a kitchen sink or a kitchen counter or something sturdy nearby to hang on to, you can even do it next to a wall. I want your arms out to the side, keeping your back nice and tall, head in line with your spine. We're going to tip forward at the hips, and we're going to hold it today. So we're holding our airplanes. We're going to work on holding it for about 30 seconds. So find that sweet spot for you where you're in a challenge, but not so much that you're, falling over or breaking form. I want your body and this whole leg in line. So if you're here, great. If we're here, wherever you are, you can be here. This is great. But I don't want like here and then your legs here. So this whole thing should be in alignment. I'm just tipping right here at my hips. And that was 30 seconds. So let's switch sides. Nice and tall. And you may find one side is easier than the other. One side, it's always like that. Maybe you can go a little deeper on one side. Really keeping those abs nice and tight. Keeping your head in line with the rest of your spine. Now, if you're doing this at home and you're finding, okay, I can hold this, no problem, I'm in this. Stand on a pillow. You could stand on a rolled up towel. You could stand, the other thing you can do is focus on shifting your weight on your foot, kind of side to side. There's different ways to continue to challenge yourself. All right, that was 30 seconds. So that is kind of a threefold exercise. It's balance, it's core, and it's hip stabilizing. I should say fourfold, because when you're in this position, your hamstrings are also having to engage. So there's a lot going on with those airplane holds. Maybe your arms are feeling tired because you're holding them out to the side after we've done all those other arm exercises. But find, like I said, find your challenge in a safe spot. If you're not sure how you're holding it, you can do it maybe in a bathroom and watch how your form is with your hold, so you can make sure you're not, bending at the back, something like that. Okay, so go through these 1 to 2 more times, really challenge yourself, add a little cardio in between, and then at the end, do your cool down and stretches. Please, as always, let me know if you have any questions, if you need any variations, or any comments left below. Thank you guys, have a great workout.